Hello everyone! Bandai has just dropped both a gameplay trailer and a character reveal trailer. Let's talk about it. What was previously called Blast Stock is now known as Kill Count. It functions roughly the same, with your counter slowly building up over time during battle. Notice how I said roughly the same? Well, it's because they've made a few interesting tweaks. Sparking Zero has added a couple of new mechanics. First up, Revenge Counter. Let's say your opponent has you trapped in a combo and you desperately want to get out. Previously, you would only be able to break out of a combo if your character had either an explosive wave in their moveset or if they had Wild Sense activated. And that's where Revenge Counter steps in. By consuming 2 of your skill counts, you'll be able to break out of an opponent's combo and send them flying with a counter attack. Like I said before, only characters who had explosive wave type moves would have the luxury of breaking out of a combo with ease. And unfortunately, there weren't a lot of them. Gohan, Vegeta, Trunks, and the androids are the only ones that come to mind. With Revenge Counter, everyone will have access to a move that lets you break out of a combo for free. Well, 2 counter stacks, but you get the point. Super Perception marks another new addition not seen in previous Tenkaichi games. This one is also dependent on your skill count. When anticipating the opponent's attack, you can activate Super Perception, which allows you to deflect the attack at a cost of 2 skill points. They say that we'll be able to deflect various types of attacks, so I guess this means we'll be able to deflect more than just key wave type blasts? Not sure how that's gonna work since they didn't show us any other examples, but I'm definitely curious to find out in the future. Here's one of the bigger gameplay changes: the short dash. They said that your normal movement speed will be as fast as the dash in previous games, so instead of moving your analog stick and pressing X to get to this level of speed, just by moving our analog sticks without pressing any buttons, we'll be able to achieve the same speed in Sparking Zero. And then, if we want to move faster, we would have to press the dash button, which I'm assuming will be X. By pressing X, we would perform a short dash, which they describe as a quick lightning speed move. I'm definitely curious to see how it'll feel once we actually play the game. With new additions and changes, there's always a risk of ruining or messing something up, but I'll be open-minded. The last feature they've highlighted is Vanishing Assault. At the cost of a single key bar, you'll essentially be able to teleport to your opponent. It appears to be quite an effective way to get behind and catch them off guard. From what I understand, you'll have to be somewhat close to your opponent in order to initiate the Vanishing Assault. All of these new mechanics were added in hopes of making the battles feel more strategic, and I'm definitely on board with that. Can't wait to see how everything will feel once we actually play it. And with all those new mechanics out of the way, let's see how our old ones look. In the very first bit of gameplay, Vegeta does a non-homing dash at Goku, which he counters by simply jumping. This might sound like a stupid thing to break down, but hear me out. The fact that Goku was able to dodge that with a mere jump means that this gameplay quirk was something they ported from the Tenkaichi series and not Raging Blast. I mention this because there's a lot of people concerned about whether the game will play more like Tenkaichi or RB. I love this next scene. So, Goku does this Kiai Cannon followed by a smash attack that is supposed to knock Vegeta to the ground. Unfortunately for Goku, Vegeta does a vanish, escaping the attack last minute. This exact combo can be replicated in Tenkaichi 3. You press square 2 times and hold triangle to charge your Kiai Cannon. Once your opponent is sent flying, just press triangle again to finish the combo. Considerable attention was given to the character's hair. Throughout the entire trailer, you'll notice how dynamic and fluid the hair feels, especially in this scene where Goku is charging his ki. This feature was also present on the PS2 games, though not to the same degree, obviously. Now this particular combo caught my eye. Goku does a typical charged punch to the gut, followed by a leg kick that sends Vegeta flying. This is something you can easily replicate in BT3. However, those 2 vanishing spin kicks that follow, on the other hand, well, they're a whole different story. Technically, you can replicate it, but you would have to be in max power, which Sparking Zero Goku is not. And even if we do replicate it while in max power, it still doesn't feel the same. It's way slower than the Sparking Zero combo, most likely a new combo string that didn't exist in previous games. Although, those 2 follow-up spinning kicks Goku does, they feel oddly familiar. Not the kicks themselves, no. Rather, it's the way those 2 two kicks were carried out lightning fast. It kind of reminds me of this particular combo from BT3. Ignoring the Kiai Cannon, those two kicks Goku follows up with feel identical. They're both equally as fast as those shown in Sparking Zero's gameplay. Maybe it's just me, but I feel that's the only thing that's even remotely comparable. You'll also notice how both Goku and Vegeta are constantly teleporting mid-combo. This is something you could do both in BT3 and Raging Blast. You start your combo head-on in front of the enemy and finish it from behind. Either that, or you can simply reset the combo and start all over. It does appear to consume a small portion of your ki gauge each time you do it, just like it did in the previous games. Chargeable super attacks are back. Oh, I just noticed that super attacks also consume 3 of your ki bars in Tenkaichi 4. Nice. After being blasted by the Kamehameha, Vegeta's outfit is completely destroyed. The Saiyan armor is gone and half his outfit is completely torn. It looks identical to the way it did in the Broly movie. Speaking of battle-damaged outfits, there's something really interesting I noticed. In BT3, battle damage would only be visible if you got hit by a strong enough ultimate or if you lost a beam clash. Whereas in BT2, you literally just have to beat him up. Like, no joke. No need for any fancy ki blasts. Hard punches and kicks will do the job just right. Now, the reason I brought up battle damage in BT2 is because it seems to function similarly in Sparking Zero. We already saw Vegeta's armor getting blown up by the Kamehameha, but even before that, during the initial exchanges of blows with Goku, his suit was already showing signs of damage. This implies that for the first time ever in a Tenkaichi game, we will have 2 stages of battle damage for a character's outfit. Shortly after, Vegeta goes into max power and dashes straight at Goku. It's here where Vegeta does a 12-hit combo topped off by a flying kick. The flying kick combo is no stranger to the Tenkaichi series. Depending on your character, it will either be square plus triangle, or square square triangle, or even square 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 triangle. The flying kick is all good, but the 12-hit combo caught me off guard until I realized Vegeta was in max power and just spamming the punch button. In Tenkaichi 3, this move is called Violent Rush. I don't know if you can call it a move considering you just spam the punch button over and over until your max power gauge is drained. Nonetheless, I'm glad to see it back. I was so hung up on the combos that I didn't even notice the weather changing. Looks like the weather will change whenever you transform or charge ki. They've directly stated that Ultimate Tenkaichi was one of the games they took heavy inspiration from when it came to presentation, and Ultimate Tenkaichi did have weather changes, although it worked a bit differently there. And now, for the most insane part of the gameplay trailer, Vegeta launches a mean-looking final flash that catches Goku off guard. It is here that we witness the return of one of the staple mechanics of the Tenkaichi games: the lock-on. And what's more, it functions the same way it did in the older games. If you got hit by a strong enough ultimate, blinded by a solar flare, or heck, even if you got smacked by that one combo from BT2, your character would lose focus and begin to frantically scan the area in an attempt to locate the opponent. All the while, the enemy has you in their sights, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Which is exactly what Vegeta does in the trailer. Goku's view is obscured by some spectacular looking smoke clouds, when suddenly a hole starts to form, and the hole gradually expands with each of Vegeta's ki blasts passing through. Now this is some next level attention to detail. I also like how we can see Vegeta's silhouette through the smoke, so we're not completely blind. After transforming into blue, Goku does this specific combo, which kind of looks like one of the aerial combos from BT3. It's not exactly one-to-one, as blue Goku doesn't even exist in BT3, but the combo pattern seems to be quite similar. Vegeta finally gets the upper hand, but as soon as he attempts to smack Goku with a vanishing attack, that's right, folks, the infamous Z counter. This move has to be one of the most hard to master techniques of all time. It's a timing-based move. Essentially, all you have to do is press up plus square before a rush attack hits, or circle before a vanishing attack. It sounds simple in theory, but it's just so difficult to actually pull off. The vanishing Z counter is somewhat doable, but the rush attack Z counter is just pain. I never mastered it, even though I've been playing the game basically ever since release. Granted, I didn't spend much time trying to master it, but still, it's painful. The window of opportunity is way too short. Although, considering Tenkaichi 4 is going to have online, I think it's time we all start watching those YouTube tutorials. The gameplay trailer concludes with a huge revelation. Ladies and gentlemen, our analogs are safe! Beam clashes are no longer determined by who spins the fastest. Instead, it'll be a game of focus. The winner is the player who times their inputs more precisely. Kind of like that minigame we had in Budokai 3. Alright, that's everything covered in regard to the gameplay trailer. Now for the character reveal trailer. Buff Trunks is back, and his super explosive wave actually feels super this time around. After Trunks is sent flying by Dispo, he kind of stops himself from hitting the ground, the same way Vegeta did in his fight against Cell. I'm not sure if this is a callback to it, but the similarities are hard to deny. Kakunse is also in the game. I don't know what to say. She's that fighter from the Tournament of Power that got eliminated by Android 17. I mean, it's a Tenkaichi game after all. We have Emperor Pilaf as a playable character. Freaking Spopovich. Sure, why not Kakunsa also? This one is a character reveal trailer, so there isn't a lot to talk about in terms of actual gameplay. Still, there are two more things I'd like to highlight. First, Burter is back, and he is still the fastest in the universe. Also, the combo he does in the trailer is a one-to-one recreation of his combo from Tenkaichi 3. Now, Broly's explosive wave kind of caught my eye. It looks just like a typical explosive wave until you notice that green key wave that's directly coming out of his torso. Now, this is just a guess, but I have a theory on how this might work. In the trailer is a super explosive wave connected with Jace, but let's say it doesn't connect. Could that blast be one final attempt to do some chip damage in case the super explosive wave fails to land? I mean, it's just a theory, but I find it somewhat plausible. So far, things are looking good. We have 11 characters, and there's a lot more to come. As for the release date, I think we should still remain patient. The gameplay seems to be heading in the direction of Tenkaichi 3, which is always a good thing. Although, I'm a bit anxious when it comes to the new movement system. But let's just wait and see. Who knows? Maybe it will be even better than 3's. A very lengthy episode of Secrets in Dragon Ball games is coming up this Thursday. So yeah, thank you for watching and I hope to see you there.